Hi everyone. Trying to see if okay, great. Just making sure the horizontal flip worked. Hi, this is Christine Brock, and I am going to be talking about essential oils and the science and how to use essential oils for emotional wellness. And this is just a primer, so we're not really going to be talking. Is everybody getting me okay? It's real glitchy on my end, and I can switch to my phone over here if you guys are getting lots of glitchiness too. Any feedback? Glitchiness? Okay. If you are seeing this and it's really glitchy, let me know. Alright, so when we talk about essential oils and emotional wellness, I typically think of three different mechanisms by which essential oils are used for emotional wellness. One of them is to look at the chemistry of essential oils and how the various phytochemicals, plant-based natural chemicals within essential oils can be used for emotional support. Another mechanism is aroma, how they smell, and how that helps the brain process traumas. And then the third mechanism that I normally think about is the vibrational frequency of essential oils and how those can be used to help. I see there's 3 people online. Hi! If you guys can see this and it's not glitchy, let me know. It's real glitchy on my end, and I'm thinking that's going to be really annoying for everyone watching. So if it's not glitchy, give me a thumbs up. If it is glitchy, let me know, and I will get on my phone, which I know works better. Okay, so 3 mechanisms: the chemical constituents, the smell, and then the vibrational frequency. So when we're talking about chemical constituents, we'll look at what is the chemical constituent that is desired, and then, hi Terry, you're coming and going, but the audio is fine. Thanks, Patricia. Okay, so I'm going to maybe stay still, and that way it won't be so glitchy in the, there, maybe that's better. Okay, so when I think about the chemical piece, what ends up happening is you think about what chemical do you want, and that chemical, where is it present in an essential oil? For example, there is a chemical constituent called beta-caryophyllene, and that is known as a sesquiterpene. And I meant to write all those big words down because they sound more intimidating than they really are. But basically, different chemicals within essential oils can clean receptor sites, reprogram bad information, put in appropriate information back into the cell. And so you can look at different chemical constituents that you want and how they can help you. But if we're talking specifically about, like, say, a beta-caryophyllene, that is known as a cannabinoid. Okay, cannabinoid. And it targets the CB2 receptor site. And because it targets the CB2 receptor site, which is known for emotional wellness and support, it's a cannabinoid, okay? Because it is that, I'm never still. I'm Italian. I don't stay still, Patricia. But because it targets the CB2 receptor site and not the CB1 and 2, You don't get the same high as, say, a THC would get, but you get the same medicinal, no, not medicinal, you get the same emotional support benefit as something that would target the cannabinoid receptor CB2. So again, you can look at various chemicals within the oil and how that can help. Another way, I said, the second mechanism is smell. So there is a quote from this book right here. Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. Highly recommended. But it says here, studies at New York University proved the amygdala gland, which is the gland in the limbic system of the brain that stores and releases trauma in the body. So this gland, the amygdala gland, does not respond to sight or sound or touch, but only releases emotional trauma through the sense of smell. So if you're working on emotions that are rooted in trauma, it's beneficial to use essential oils that the smell will help with those emotions. So if you folks have an essential oil desk reference, there is a whole section on letting go with essential oils. And in addition to that, it'll talk about oils specific for emotional challenges. So, the names that Young Living has for their oils kind of give it away. So, for instance, Forgiveness essential oil blend might be good if you are working on challenges as related to forgiving someone. Release essential oil blend would be a good blend if you have pent-up emotions you know you need to release. Another one would be Acceptance, Transformation, Magnify Your Purpose. There's lots of fabulous essential oil blends. Okay, so that is the second mechanism, the smell. The third mechanism, and the one that I like the most, and this is just a primer, but it talks about vibrational frequency. So everyone and everything has a vibration to it. And science has been able to demonstrate that emotions have vibrations to it. And actually we have found that emotions are not stored in your brain. They're actually stored in your body. And because they're stored in your body, they tend to be stored, the emotions themselves tend to be stored in the same organ that has a similar vibrational frequency. So I'll give you an example. Anger is an emotion that has a similar vibrational frequency as your liver. So what they have found is that negative thoughts decrease a person's vibrational frequency up to 10 megahertz. Decrease it 12 megahertz. Positive thoughts increases your vibrational frequency 10 megahertz. And praying actually increases your vibrational frequency 15 megahertz. And if you look inside a section in the reference guide for essential oils, they have a whole section on what is frequency and how does it pertain to oils. And it talks about how the human brain has a certain frequency. The body itself is on average 65 megahertz, and your body is at risk for falling below the wellness line when your body dips below 60 megahertz. Okay, so let's think about this. If we average 65 megahertz. Okay? And negative thoughts decrease our vibrational frequency by 12 megahertz. But going below 60 has the potential to drop us below the wellness line. Now you can see negative thoughts and negative emotions have a lot of power to decrease our wellness. Whereas positive thoughts and positive thinking and actions like praying and meditating increase our vibrational frequency. That helps us stay above the wellness line. So when we're looking at the vibrational frequency, emotions tend to deposit in one of your chakras, which are down the midline of your body, and then transfer along horizontal meridians all across your body. Okay, so they deposit inside one of the chakras and then they transfer throughout a meridian. And this all sounds very fruity until you actually do it and you see, wow, this stuff works. Okay, so let's just use anger again as an example. So whereas if you were using essential oils for the sense of smell, you might use release over your liver or one of your VitaFlex points for the liver on your hands or feet. You would use a different oil if you're looking at vibrational frequency. In other words, you're using the oil to increase the vibrational frequency of that particular organ where the emotions are deposited. So as an example, if you were using, say, wanting to use an oil for anger, feelings of anger, you would use an oil like purification. Actually, purification is the oil that has the appropriate vibrational frequency for dealing with anger. And then you would apply that. The camera's here, not going to allow me to do that, so I'll just tell you. But basically, the meridian for it is from nipple to nipple. There are also locations on your hand and on your feet. And it talks a lot more about that in depth again in this book, Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. But basically the theory is to choose an oil with a vibrational frequency that will lift the organ which the emotion was deposited, and then you can use some releasing type sayings. So for anger, you would put it on that meridian, like I said, from nipple to nipple. And you would say to yourself, I know this sounds fruity, but you just trust me, it works. My direction is clear. And the example that they talk about in the book is that often anger is a result of a roadblock. You're going down a path, you're really excited, you're working your way, and then something blocks it. And, you know, whatever the case may be, that block, the buildup of emotions behind that block as you're trying to figure out to go through, around, over this block is what ends up causing people to feel angry. So the polar opposite emotion that one expresses would be laughter. So you would choose to feel the other side of the emotion. You would just say to yourself, my direction is clear, and you would apply purification, which is a vibrational frequency appropriate for that emotion on that meridian. And that's just an example of one emotion. There's hundreds. So that's my primer, the 3 mechanisms, and it's my understanding that we are having some folks talk about the aroma freedom technique at the Young Living Rally. So more good news about those who are wanting to release emotions with essential oils. Definitely come to the Young Living Rally in the spring, in April, and you should be able to get some great information there. So thanks for joining me, and if you have any questions, ask on this thread. I'll be happy to answer it the best way I can. Thank you. Bye-bye.